Hi, my name's Valerie Miller. I'm the Interim Director of the Office of Student Financial Aid and Scholarships at Ohio University.
I'm Kevin Witham, Senior Associate Director, Undergraduate Admissions, Ohio University.
The most critical thing you can do is investigate opportunities at the different colleges and universities that you're considering attending. So, talking with the financial aid officers at the schools that you're thinking about, making sure that you apply to each of their individual timeframes and deadlines, whether it's for the FAFSA receipt or whether it's unique scholarship opportunities that they may have at their institution. You need to keep a spreadsheet of the different schools that you're considering and make sure that you're looking into all of those different opportunities and applications and meeting each one of those unique specifications.
For undergraduate freshman students, they typically would begin the process of considering colleges and universities in their junior year and what their possibilities of their career fields and what their interests are. Working with various admissions people, guidance counselors, teachers, those that are mentors to them, and kind of getting ideas of what they might want to do. Many students have no idea, and that's fine too, but they would want to consider that, and then they want to consider their colleges that they might want to attend, and that encompasses possibly geographically, distance, size, the majors involved, the requirements for admission. All of those things would be taken in consideration as they consider the process, and then they would start the admissions process in the fall of their senior year.
Deadlines for application for the FAFSA are going to be fairly common. Similarly to how the FAFSA is a common form across the United States, most institutions have deadlines that fall in at least general timelines. At Ohio University, for example, we ask that the FAFSA results be on file by March 15th. That's a pretty standard date across the country. My recommendation, however, is if you're considering 3 to 5 different institutions, find which school has the earliest deadline, file to that deadline, and then everything else will fall in place at the other institutions since you complete a single form and can have it sent to multiple schools.
October is considered application month, and so they want to get those applications done and not missing deadlines, which could vary anywhere from early November, December into February and March. Scholarship process could start much earlier. Students can do research on the web. Students and families should not typically pay an entity to search for scholarships for them because many of it is available to them if they take the time to do research.
My basic advice is to complete the common federal aid form. It's called the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, commonly referred to as the FAFSA, and to give it an opportunity. I think that opportunities missed are what we're saddened to see in the financial aid office. To speak with someone when an academic year is primarily complete and find that someone didn't do the form and perhaps missed out on something that would have been available to them had they done so in time is sad. So, in your senior year of high school, complete the FAFSA and wait for the results and see how things work out for you, and you might be pleasantly surprised.
A high school student also would hopefully at this point have taken the ACT or SAT test at least once. In the fall of the senior year is a good time to take it a second time. The earliest, the previous test date they should have taken would have been in the junior year. When a student takes the test, it is recommended that they request that those scores be sent to at least the 3 or 4 schools they're thinking about. That way the scores are received directly from the testing service, and they're using something that they've paid for in that service to take the test as well.
Where the FAFSA can come into play for scholarship opportunities is the need component. Some scholarships have a financial need criteria that must be met, and it may not even necessarily be high financial need, but just that you demonstrate some form of financial need. And by not completing the FAFSA, you're excluding yourself from that opportunity, and that could definitely be a missed scholarship opportunity.
Some schools do have fee waivers depending on the process, or possibly the student can ask for the fee waiver through a form through our National Association for College Admission Counseling, or the College Board fee waiver form, or the institution itself. So if they are in a financial situation with the family and not able to afford application fees, they can have that waived as well. One of the things that we find is students' work in high school is actually a better predictor of what they do in college than even the tests and things. So we do use test scores, we do use possibly recommendations, but it's a holistic review of the application. And a student that is performing well in high school, we notice grades progressing better, even if they didn't do so well the freshman year, but each year is better, they're usually going to be also successful in college. Same with a student that's looking at those sciences in the engineering and in the science areas. If they have a senior math and a senior science area, they're probably going to be more successful when they come in that freshman year because they haven't had that gap of no math or science from the junior year.
So you've completed the free application for federal student aid, you've completed the scholarship applications, you've been admitted to the universities you're considering, and now you receive a financial aid offer in the mail from each of the different institutions. You need to compare and contrast and use that information as part of your college decision process. How in the world do you compare the different financial aid offers? You need to look at the different types of aid you've been offered, compare scholarships and grants and loans and work opportunities, look at the renewability or non-renewability of the aid that you've been offered, and compare the costs between the different schools. A financial aid package value can't be compared as one offer equal to the other unless you take the cost of the institution into account as well. A certain dollar offer at School A that's exactly the same offer at School B is different unless both schools have exactly the same cost structure, which is unlikely. So you need to take the cost of attendance less the financial aid you've been offered and look at the bottom line, which we refer to as the out-of-pocket cost, and compare those two factors rather than the aid packages themselves.
College visiting is very important. That's probably the most important thing a student can do. We like to say if you're buying a vehicle or something like that, a vehicle, you would not most likely go buy it without at least driving it or kicking the tires. So I think we would say, and many college admissions advisors and counselors and school counselors would encourage students to visit the schools they're thinking about. That gives them an opportunity to get the feel, and is it the right fit? Does it meet their academic expectations or academic needs? Does it meet their social needs? Does it meet their expectations on distance, as we mentioned earlier about the various qualities that go into a student's decision? It could be distance, it could be geographic, it could be academic, it could be a variety of reasons a student chooses, but a visit will help make that decision a little bit clearer.